they're hoping to have that be a 3-brewery like district destination.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah, because Thirsty Dog's 5 minutes away from there.
Right. Yeah, I was just
Maybe
having
10
last
minutes with the current traffic situation in
Yeah.
Main Street.
Oh, yeah. As always.
God, it's a mess down there.
As always.
We go to
How we doing, Hank?
Restaurant Depot, which is on the other side of 76, or I'll say south.
This is where I
Main
confess to an operator
And
error.
then we got
Everything
Coffee
is now fine.
Company,
Just
which
give
is
it 1
up the
minute.
road from the
Okay,
RTA.
okay.
So Eric will swing off, go to Restaurant Depot, and then head back to Pro Coffee. So screwed up now.
It is a mess.
She said, "Where'd this roundabout come from?" And she followed some guy all the way around once before they figured out how to stay on Main Street heading north. So it was really weird. Perfect timing.
Bazinga.
It's always with a mouthful of food. You ready?
Well, we good? We have no. You can't hear us on the speaker monitor. That's just a heads up. So,
I bet you if he turned it toward us, we could hear it.
oh. So we are here live, the Hop and the Bean, at Wadsworth Brewing Company. One of the most amazing things and fun things about the craft brew community is the diversity. And so today, a brew pub you can find anywhere. I love what Ernie said to me. You swing a dead cat and you can hit a brew pub. But anywhere from like the city to a pig farm, which we've been to both. Whether it's coming together at a huge beer fest or a small beer fest, a seasonal celebration, or just bringing a few beers home from your favorite brewery, craft beer has extended its reach into all different sides of our lives. And so it's definitely extending its reach. And that's no different about today. That is, we're located right now in the beautiful, historic downtown Wadsworth, Ohio, at Wadsworth Brewing Company, which is defined as a family-owned and operated, quaint neighborhood brewery. And I've been here so much, and it's not even the fact that I've been here so much, but you get that home feel. You walk in and you just feel like you're at home. And so I want to first of all say thank you, Ernie, for joining us here.
I'm glad we could finally make it happen.
On the Hop and the Bean. And then joining us also from Northeast Ohio Craft Brewery News is Rob Tittle. Rob?
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for having me again.
Yeah, great to have you back.
Thanks, Steve.
And so before we get into everything about Wadsworth and all the questions that I have about whether or not the character in your T-shirt exists, I want to talk to Rob a little bit. And how you been, man? How's your summer been going?
It's been great. Enjoying myself and getting ready for the fall and cold weather beers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good point that you bring up, right?
Yep.
So there's the fall season that is coming up really quickly, and that means a few things for beer drinkers, right? There's pumpkin beers, Oktoberfest beers,
Right.
Oktoberfest festivals, and then it's more the prominent season for some of those seasonal beers that a lot of the breweries, maybe 3 to 4 to 5 years ago, that they become known for, like we were talking about offline before.
Sure.
So are there any brewery specific breweries
Spit out, man.
specific? I started laughing. Is there any like brewery style, like exact beers, or just stylistically beers seasonally that you're looking forward to this coming season?
Oh, jeez.
I know it's a kind of loaded question.
Yeah, that's a loaded question because I'm one of those guys that can pretty much drink any beer any time of year. I do look forward to the Southern Tier Pumpkin. It's probably one of my favorites, always has been.
What is it?
Southern Tier Pumpkin.
Oh, yeah.
It's probably one of the more famous pumpkin beers out here. And of course, they just opened a tap room downtown Cleveland.
Sure.
About 2-3 weeks ago. That's probably one of my favorites. I look forward to. Kind of like to change it up though. some of the breweries around here are starting to do, just instead of the pumpkin beer, they'll do like a sweet potato beer, which is,
right.
a little bit different. I know Platform does a real nice one locally. One of my favorites was...
What's it called? The Yummy?
Yummy Yummy.
Yummy Yummy?
Yep. One of my... Great name. One of my favorites was actually a sweet potato casserole beer that I got down at Funky Buddha down in Florida a couple years ago. And if somebody could make one that tasted like that locally, man, I'd be all over that.
Interesting.
So yeah, I look forward to just a wide variety. I do like a good Oktoberfest.
That's a good Thanksgiving beer, sounds like. That's
great Thanksgiving beer. Yeah, definitely.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What about you, Ernie?
What am I looking forward to?
Seasonalist looking. I just made that word up.
Is there a seasonal IPA for fall? I mean,
I don't know.
I should probably try and come up with one of those.
Yes!
That would be up my alley.
For Christmas, you've got like Celebration IPA from Sierra Nevada.
Yeah, no,
that's true.
Fall IPAs. Maybe we'll try a sweet potato IPA, see if we can do that.
I like where you're going with
I think
that.
you're onto something.
All right.
Yeah. I always said, everybody, like, the whole, like, I don't know if it was like phase 2-ish craft beer, like the whole Christmas ale type thing, it blew up, right?
Oh, yeah.
Why doesn't anybody make a Thanksgiving ale? It's like the biggest eating day of the year.
The biggest drinking day of the year.
Yeah, the night before, the biggest drinking day of the year, Thanksgiving ale. I'm just throwing that out there.
We'll work on it.
Yeah. So, and I gotta ask you guys this, since we're the hop and the bean.
Yep.
So, craft beer and specialty coffee, pumpkin spice latte, yes or no?
Never had it.
Never? Never? Wow. Rob?
I'm gonna go with yes.
Yes?
Yeah.
You looked a little bit embarrassed.
I am a little bit embarrassed because I know
ashamed of yourself.
I know it is a basic white girl
Cool
drink.
story,
but
bro.
If that makes me a basic white girl, then
In one of our first shows, we talked about the white girl mocha is also along the same lines,
Yes.
but I don't know. I've grown apart from it. I used to love it when it first came out, but I'm more of if I have to drink a sweet drink, I'll go to Artisan, which because they make all their home syrups, like house-made syrups, and they make a really good caramel mocha, salted caramel mocha, and that's seasonally as well.
Right.
So
I mean, anymore with the pumpkin spice lattes, it's kind of become for me like Christmas ale. Absolutely no knock against Great Lakes. They're a great brewery.
Yeah.
When it came out, however many years ago, I could easily down a 6 or a 12 pack.
You can find it in the stores.
If you can find it in the stores,
I used to buy cases of it.
And now I'm good for 1 or 2 seasons.
Yep.
Same thing with the pumpkin spice lattes. I get my one, and I'm good. I can say I had it.
So, remind me, maybe you guys saw this. One of a local brewery released a fall beer I think it was a fall beer with a brown sugar rim. I don't know who it was. I just remember seeing something. I was like, I've heard of like the sugar and cinnamon rims and all that, but it was some kind of fall beer with a brown sugar rim. Sounds good. If anybody's watching that knows that beer that I'm talking about locally, go ahead and tell us. But
I know Avon does a coconut beer.
Oh yeah.
King Coconut Stout.
Did you try that?
And
Yeah.
they rim that with coconut. But,
yeah. How was that? Have you had
I've
it?
never had it.
You never
I've
had
actually been up there, but I've
Yeah.
heard great things.
Yeah.
I got nothing.
I don't get out more.
I don't get out of these 4 walls a whole lot.
So, Rob, a lot of what your page does is cover at Northeast Ohio Craft Brewery News.
Yep.
Is cover the openings and news around different breweries, right?
Sure.
What are some of the newer breweries that have opened maybe this past summer? Southern Tier is a big one, opening in Cleveland, right?
Right.
What are maybe some other ones that have opened?
Well, yeah, you got Southern Tier, you got Missing Mountain, who we were out for a show at this past July. Acronym opened earlier in June.
Yeah.
It's more about what's coming up than what's opened recently. There have been a handful of openings, but there's a lot more coming up.
Yeah.
So you got Missing Falls coming up in probably like early to mid-October.
Absolutely.
Opening up in Canal Place in downtown Akron.
Good friends of the show.
Yep, good friends of the show, and they'll be opening up in the same building where Arshay plans on putting their production facility next year.
So excited about
So
that.
it's going to be a great area. We got the Akron Brewing District going on down there.
Ron and I had a good talk about that. I was just at a beer fest in Cuyahoga Falls called Great Beer and Craft Brews.
Okay.
And Arshay, Hi-Ho, Madcap, and Great Lakes. Actually, we're all there.
Right.
And Ron and I talked a lot about it. It was good.
Yep.
Trying to cut up the audio, but
So, I think it was last weekend or the weekend before, you had Hoodletown that opened up down in Dover.
Who town?
Hoodletown.
Okay.
Opened up down in Dover.
Okay, I have relatives in
Philadelphia
Dover.
area.
Yeah, nice.
And then I think the first week in October, we've got one opening up in Ashtabula called Cloven Hoof.
Yes, it's the same owner of Harbor Perk, right?
That's correct.
My father-in-law has been talking with this guy since he's been homebrewing.
Okay.
So they're like high on my radar.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get the Harbor Perk, and what is the name of the brew?
Cloven Hoof.
Cloven Hoof.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna happen. I'm super excited for them. Harbor Perk coffee is awesome.
And then I guess the nearest one would be this coming weekend. Bookhouse Brewing is opening in Ohio City, and that's the former brewer from Portside, Vaughn Stewart. That's his new venture. And
Very excited for that.
Yeah, very excited.
Was Portside the people that did the Big Chuck beer?
Yes, the barley wine.
Yeah.
Remember the 216 Paleo?
216
I think I know that guy.
Yeah.
I think he used to work at UPS.
Yeah, so unfortunately they went out of business, I think it was last September, and then Vaughn moved very quickly to start his own venture, and so he'll be opening a place with his one of his best friends, I believe since college, and
Nice.
they are opening this coming weekend.
I wonder if he'll bring 216 back, because I honestly did not get it until probably the week that they announced that they were closing. I'm like, hey, I found it. And I'm like, oh, you're going out of business.
Right.
What was it?
Right.
Delicious pale
It's a
ale.
pale
Oh.
ale. Very good.
And they canned that one?
Yeah.
I just remember the Big Chuck can. It was like cool art.
Yeah.
It was pretty good actually.
Yeah.
Anything else? Is that
Oh, I'm sure there's more.
yeah.
Follow the page. We're always announcing new ones, but yeah, those are the top of mind. Those are the ones that are coming up
Let me just
in the very
say,
near future.
yeah. You guys, that's one thing I love about your page, and I think that one of the reasons that it's grown so big is you do a great job of not just capturing. You could just like post the link to that brewery, but you give your own input, which is because of the journey that I'm about to talk to, that you've been on. You talk to it, you speak to that journey, right? And so it's not just like, hey, here's a new brewery, but it's you speak about it a little bit and you say like how this evolves the craft beer community, and that's what this is all about, right?
Yeah, and I mean it's all about getting people out of their comfort zone and going to check out new things, new places. You know, it's really about just kind of getting out of your own neighborhood. And I mean, we love that there's a place right here in Wadsworth that folks from Wadsworth can come to, and I'm sure you guys as regulars.
Absolutely.
But we want to encourage them to get out and be on their comfort zone and go down the road and check out a new place in a new town that maybe they've never been to before. So.
And let me ask you this, Ernie. So I would consider this like a destination brewery, because you have your regulars probably, right? But also, do you get a lot of visitors as well from out of town?
You know, the Summit County Brew Path did a lot for us the first year and this year. And if you live in Stowe and Talmadge, you're driving past, 10 breweries to get to here. And it brought all of those people here who probably would have never even heard of us, which is the hard part, is how do you get people to find your place or hear about you?
Yep.
You know, traditional advertising and media like that just isn't what it used to be as far as what people get their eyes on. So the Brew Path was excellent for that last year and this year. It was amazing.
Yeah. That's a great point. I mean, absolutely. I mean, and then, because I told you the story about when I was meeting here with my friend from Rittman.
Oh yeah.
And I live in Greene, and so this was it was closer for him than it was for me. But after the first time being here, I was like, yeah, I'll come back. This is a great place to have a meeting. And so we did it every 2 weeks for about 6 months, and so I became pretty familiar, and I loved it.
Helps that the beers are very good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right?
Thank you.
So kind of to close us out with our side of the interview, Rob, I know you share a similar passion for the craft beer community as I do.
Sure.
What would you say that it is that keeps you going, that keeps you exploring and keeps the journey going forward? I know it's kind of a big question, but
it is. It's a big question, but it's honestly the people.
Yeah.
I mean, you meet so many great people in this industry. I mean, I've only been doing this page for about 18 months, 20 months, And the number of people that I've met through it supersedes. I mean, obviously, it's great beer. It's getting out and going to a community that I've never been to before and checking out and seeing, parts of Ohio that I, quite frankly, didn't even know existed.
Right. Yeah. Shout out Woolly Pig Farm, Fresno, Ohio.
Right.
Never knew that existed.
Prime example, exactly.
Yes.
Out in the middle of nowhere, literally. I mean, who would have thought there would have been a brewery out there?
Yes.
But got you in a car on a Saturday, Sunday, or whatever it was, and you drove all the way out there, checked them out, and had a great experience out of it. And probably in the process met some great people.
Yep.
And really that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. You just meet so many wonderful people in this industry, so many genuine people that are so dedicated to their craft and just want to make not only a great beverage, but want to provide a great experience and a great place where people from their community can come together.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, it's community, and this craft beer organically builds that community.
He's just laughing at me over here. He's like, man, you are corny.
My bartender's laughing at me.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And just on a side note, as we're here and laughing at Rob,
with Rob,
with Rob, yes.
My wife
The
laughs
beer
at
cheese and the pretzels, phenomenal. One of the best beer cheeses I've ever had. I love it. And the chips as well. Producer Hank says chips were good. So just for fun, also, last 2 weeks. What's one of the best beers you've had? And then I know another for me and you. That's a big question.
Well, last weekend I got out and about, and I don't get out of the house that often, having children and a wife. And I'm sure, you don't leave these four walls. I usually don't leave my four walls.
Right.
But I had an opportunity to get out and check out 3 or 4 breweries on a Saturday last week, and had great beers at all of them. But probably one that really stuck out for me was it was a caramel version of Wolver, the Scottish ale.
Yes.
It's barrel aged.
Yes.
Man, was that good. And Thirsty Dog.
Yes.
That was excellent. And also their rum barrel aged pumpkin ale was phenomenal too.
And Thirsty Dog. So Moon Man, shout out to the Moon Man. Moon Man and I went to their bourbon barrel night at the Thirsty Dog tap room.
Yeah.
And they had that on draft, and I literally tried it, and to Joe, he's in charge of their Lero, I believe his last name is.
Okay.
He's in charge of their bourbon barrel program at Thirsty Dog, and he's also at that location a lot.
Yeah.
And I tried that caramel bourbon barrel Wolver, and I yelled across the bar to him. I was like, "This is amazing!" Like I literally took a drink. I was like, "This is amazing!"
It was phenomenal.
He turned around and was like, "Yeah!" Like, I mean, I agree with you on that, 100%.
And pretty much everything that I had at Magic City.
Oh yeah,
Barberton was
they're doing
phenomenal,
great.
too.
They're doing great stuff.
I
Jay's
normally
amazing.
go somewhere
Yeah.
and get
Jay's killing it.
at least one flight. I had 2 flights that night. So I just wanted to try everything on the menu because it all
And
sounded
you
so good.
took my recommendation on the unworldly origins, or
Yeah, that was excellent. Both the gozes that I had were very good too.
yeah. Oh yeah. Did you get your one that you wanted to try? The Songbird.
No, they had a blueberry passion fruit goza,
Okay,
which was
okay.
amazing, and then they had something else, mango and
So let me ask you this.
mango
So-
pineapple, and they were both excellent.
Oh yeah, I saw that they had that. Was it good?
Yeah, they were both amazing.
So the otherworldly origins, yeah.
New England IPA.
New England IPA. Have you ever thought about brewing that style?
Oh, that style, that ever elusive,
So
easy
divisive,
style.
isn't it?
Yep.
I certainly have tried, and I get lots of advice from Jay. Thank you very much, Jay, on what I need to do, and I will continue to try and tackle it. I think that's a later question here in my script. They just clear out for me. They still taste fine, but
Yeah.
no, your beer's not hazy. Well, it's no longer. See how I crossed off hazy on the menu? It's just IPA now.
Akron coffee roasters would appreciate that, actually. 'Cause a lot of their marketing is like when they first were opening, they said probably opening next weekend. And the next weekend when they actually did open, they just crossed out probably, and they ran that in the ad.
We did a video before we opened.
Yeah.
And it was me writing on a chalkboard the dates we kept announcing and then erasing until we had
I
the
remember that.
real date.
That's awesome. I love that. Well, let's talk about that. So tell us, a little bit about Wadsworth Brewing Company, where we're at. Tell us where we're located, how long you've been here, and how you got started.
All right, well, we are, as you said, in historic downtown Wadsworth, right on the square. We've been open for a little over a year and a half, January 6th, maybe, 16.
Okay.
We actually opened the same day Hi Ho did.
Really? That's where we're going next week.
It didn't.
Great time.
It didn't. It wasn't intentional, but they had their date announced, and Eric and I had put the date together in our heads. All right, I think this will be a great Saturday. We're ready to go. Well, at least we're far enough away that we're probably not going to hurt each other's opening day, and I think we both had great days.
Yeah. And just the fact that you have that mindset speaks to the community.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, John and Allie are great there, so it's awesome. And we live like 5 blocks away from here, so we really wanted to be in downtown Wadsworth. Not quite as big as downtown Worcester, so our pool of spaces that were available probably were not nearly as big. We looked at a few. We looked down the street where the Chinese place is now. And we looked at another one. We actually looked at this place twice before we said, I think this is going to be the perfect size for us.
So what used to be here, if you don't mind me asking? Jumping in.
It's a place called the Substation. They're actually on the other side of the square. You probably drove past it if you came from 261 or 76. There was a fire here. It's like a late night fire, some sort of electrical fire. 3.5 years ago. Building got sold, and now they took all the plaster off the walls, opened it all up. That door and window that are in the back were covered in plaster. From the outside out back, you can't tell there's a door and a window there at all.
So these beautiful brick walls, they were not exposed when you came in here? Do you guys?
I was just going to say that.
They were exposed when we came in. The restaurant before did not have them exposed.
That's always fascinated me about these old buildings like this. Like Sandy Springs down in Minerva.
It's amazing down there.
It's wonderful.
I really want to go.
But they're building a hotel and everything next door, and much the same as you guys.
I know, uncovered that kind of hotel paint
on
the wall.
An older building like this, and all the walls were drywalled over this beautiful brick.
Right.
And they ripped that stuff away and saw this. It's like, why would you ever cover that?
Yeah.
You don't get this. I mean, like,
it's so,
let alone.
It's like painting all your fresh woodwork or old woodwork in your house white or something. It's like you're never going to...
Yeah, why would you do that?
I do not understand. Did you do that?
I didn't do it, but I know someone that I married that did in my last house.
Things happen.
Thank you, Chip and Joanna.
So
choose your battles.
Exactly. It did turn out beautiful, but anyways.
So anyway,
wherever we were, here we are.
Yeah, no.
So, we decided that this place was going to be perfect for us. The size of the brewery the brew house that I think was going to be comfortable using was going to fit here. We made amazing use of the basement down here. People are wondering where the beer gets brewed, and I said, well, all the fermenters are in the basement.
Sure.
Lined up underneath the bar.
So you brew on this system over here in the corner.
Correct.
And then you ferment down in the basement.
Yes. Okay. It's not a stainless showpiece like some people think.
Sure.
You brew 12 beers on tap in that little thing over there? Yes, I do, every week.
And what is the size of your brew?
It is a 2-barrel.
2-barrel.
Okay.
2-barrel. I got 8 fermenters downstairs, so I turn 3 to 4 batches a week.
Wow.
Nice.
Impressive.
Yeah.
I think we turned over 4 beers last week, and I could probably actually did one yesterday and could turn 2 more over this week. So handles change over pretty regular.
Sure. Yeah.
Now, are you like Jay over at Magic City? Are you brewing at 3 o'clock in the morning, or do you keep a normal schedule?
Oh gosh, no, I can't do that. I'm sleeping. Yeah, he told me he starts brewing at 8 o'clock. Or no, I'm in bed at 10:30, dude. And I can barely get up to be here at 7:30. But I brew like Ron at our shade. They do there on Monday and Tuesday. Okay. Since just like him, my brew house is in the tap room. Can't really do it at like Jay since his is in the back. So I'm kind of restricted in that aspect. But the schedule just seems to be working out well. I know it took me a year and a half to finally feel like I have a routine.
Right.
Love it.
So, I mean, yeah, 20 minutes from downtown Akron, 45 from downtown Cleveland. I mean, it's
Right.
really not that far away.
No.
But we're just a little brewery.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, like I said, you drive by how many breweries just to get to this one. And I found a lot of people, since we're kind of far away, might start here and drink their way home.
Ah.
If they're I wanted to come to you,
Not
but
that we encourage
I'm going to
that.
start here, have a flight.
As long as they have a driver.
We're going to drive here and hit that one and then hit another one on the way home. And
Sure.
it
Yeah.
seems to be a nice way for people to do that.
Inch their way home.
Yes.
Yeah.
Always with the designated driver.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Gotta
Right.
get that in.
Plenty of food, water, soda available.
So coming up, approaching 2 years, right?
Yeah, I got to think about that.
Yeah.
That will be here quickly.
I mean, hey,
Any big plans for 2-year anniversary party or anything like that?
Hank and I love to celebrate, so you need some help to celebrate. We can do that.
I need to figure something out. I'm trying to figure out how big of a beer I can actually brew on that system.
Yeah.
You know, if I can hit 14% or something like that on there. So last year I had a barrel downstairs and I had a barrel aged wheat heavy for that day. I want to see how strong I can get something here for that anniversary. It was, if anyone was here for that day, it was an amazing, busy day. I think Allie my mother-in-law was washing dishes. We were that busy. She came in to visit and she's like, wash dishes for 2 hours, wash glasses for 2 hours solid. It was a
Good problem to have.
crazy day.
The hop of the bean will work for beer. So you ever find yourself in that predicament, call us up.
I can do
We'll
that.
help you out. Absolutely.
We can take care of that.
So, what was the date you said?
January 6th.
January 6th?
Yeah, which I think was Saturday or Sunday. I think it was Friday last year. I don't remember what it is this year. Maybe it's Saturday. I'm not sure if eventually we're going to be probably like somebody, because it's going to fall on a day we're not open or a weekday. It'll be probably that weekend before or something like that.
Okay.
But yeah.
So leading up to all that, how did you actually decide, hey, brewing, you just brewing at home brewing, or you decided you wanted to actually start your own brewery?
Yeah, I tell everybody, people ask you how you got started in this. I tell everybody I was homeschooled.
Yeah.
10 years of home brewing, we brewed a lot. I mean, once Erica kicked her wine habit and we were brewing beer just for ourselves, it was amazing how quickly two people at just 2 pints a night can go through beer.
Right.
We'd have to brew 5-gallon batch every week because we had a draft kegerator in our basement.
Yeah.
And so we were brewing every week just to keep up with our own little habit problem. And we take growlers to places, if we had parties going on. So we're full
Passion.
Yes. And so we just brewed a lot. And as I kind of read stuff, it's, the more you brew, the better you get. Your process really gets refined. And that's beer number 3. Is that Blind Health? Yeah. And maybe that's why I finally feel comfortable here. Is if I brew 3-4 batches a week, it's just a lot of brewing. So I feel like I know my system, my process, and everything really well as far as that goes.
I talked with Adam at Ignite, the brewer there, and he said you can give someone the exact same ingredients, exact same beer that you're supposed to brew, but the process, you can get a completely different beer.
Oh yeah, I mean, depending upon where you are, what water you have to work with, and everything, you're not going to wind up with the same batch of beer. It could be totally different.
Yeah.
Would you say that's been the hardest thing for you as far as transitioning from a home brewer to professional? Is just that scale up, just trying to figure out where the sweet start is. How do you take these recipes that you've refined over 10 years of home brewing and make them work on that system? Has that been like the biggest learning curve, or was it a pretty natural progression for you? Because
I don't think anything here felt very natural, but
sure.
2-barrel system was probably as big as I was comfortable scaling up to.
Right.
I mean, it took a couple batches, to figure out your efficiency and things like that, and it took me a lot of batches just to feel comfortable with what I was doing.
So you would say that it wasn't maybe as much of a transition for you as maybe it was for the homebrewer that goes straight into a 7 or 10 barrel system.
I think that could be the case. I mean, that is a fairly big difference to go from 5 or 10 gallons to 7 barrels.
Yeah.
And that is a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell that for you the transition was probably a lot more smooth than a lot of other breweries because you probably didn't go from 0 to 60
Right.
like in a crazy short amount of time. Because I know you've only been open for about 18, 20 months now, but my first experience with your beer was probably when you were only open for about 5 or 6 months. And you could have never told me that you were only open for 5 or 6 months. The first time I ever had River Styx Monster, I was like, this guy knows what the heck he's doing.
Right.
So if there was a learning curve, it sure didn't show.
I agree with that.
It was a pretty quick, knowing how everything was going to get dialed in. That happened, it only took a few batches for me to say, okay, this is how things are working here. And I'm fairly comfortable with just throwing some things together in the software and going, all right, I know at least what numbers I'm going to hit.
Right.
Pretty sure this is what it's going to taste like.
Sure. Nice. I love it. I mean...
Oh, so how did we get here?
Yeah.
So,
Bring us there.
Circle back around.
Yeah, land us to that.
We divert a lot. Sorry about that.
No, I'm great for that too. So this is going to go swimmingly here. So I'm in my mid-40s. Our son was 21, 22, going to be turning 21. Eric and I were both at our careers we were at before, and we said, we've been going to Arche, hitting Trailhead, Aqueduct. I mean, those were kind of 3 years ago when we were planning this, pretty much it that wasn't Hoppin' Frog and Thirsty Dog.
Right.
In Akron.
Right.
So those guys are really open, about what it took them to get where they are and, what they were doing, and really helpful with, inspiring somebody to do their own thing.
Sure.
So, once you start throwing some numbers together and say, okay, I think I can brew this many batches a week. All right, how much is equipment going to cost? Okay, let's see if we can find a space that's reasonable in size, not far from home. And all of those pieces kind of fell together, and we said, okay, are we going to do this? It's in our budget. Can we do this? Do we think we can be successful at it? And,
right.
Then you just kind of pull that trigger. It's like, all right, let's do this.
Like logistically, can we do it? Family, all those pieces coming together, and then just going for it.
And I've never worked as hard or had more fun in my entire life.
That's the key, though. I mean, you're having fun, right?
Oh.
I mean, there's that saying, if
Making
you love
beer,
what you're
right?
doing, if you love what you're doing, you never work a day in your life,
Right.
You make beer, so how can you not love what you do, right?
And I think a lot of the craft beer and beer in general will glamorize the market and with the graphic designs and I love that. I'm a big visual guy.
Oh, sure.
But a lot of people, they don't advertise the hard work that it takes behind it, right? And I mean, and it is.
Oh, yeah.
And when I interview a lot of these guys, that's not one of the first things they mention. Maybe because they're tired, maybe because
we are.
They want to forget about it, but I mean it is. And when I talk to them off camera or offline or whenever, it's always the number one thing. Number one, it's hard work.
Yeah.
And that's why I applaud you so much, and I'm so excited to learn.
It is an amazing amount of work when you're doing it yourself.
Yep.
I mean,
right?
And I know plenty of breweries in the area where there's one guy, not necessarily working behind the bar, but I mean, he is brewing, cleaning, packaging. He is doing it all. And I don't know how many hours he's putting into it.
It's funny you say that. Like this past weekend, one of my stops was Aqueduct, and I met Robert over there for the first time.
Where?
Aqueduct.
Oh, yeah.
So I was at Thirsty Dog, and I jumped over to Aqueduct, and met and introduced myself to Robert the first time. Same thing. I introduced myself. I said, "So, how's it going?" He said, "It's going pretty good." I said, "How could it not be going good? You're living the dream, right?" And he said, "Or the nightmare, depends on how you look at it." And I thought that was kind of telling. I mean, it's sure, it's a dream making beer, but it is a lot of hard work.
Right.
It is a lot. Did you bring your passport?
I did bring my passport.
Right. I was going to say.
I think. You know what? As many times as I've been here,
You've never been stamped?
I don't think I've stamped and I think it's in my car, so I have to go get it.
Yeah.
But I wanted to, yes.
I was going to say, you're all in Barberton last weekend, but that's all right. I'm going to see you next week. So
This is horrible. I don't know if you guys will even get this reference, but I was talking to somebody earlier. I think it was today. 80s wrestling. You mentioned it. You brought this into my mind. Okay. So Dusty Rhodes was the American Dream. His son, Cody Rhodes, is now known as the American Nightmare.
I never followed wrestling past the 80s, actually.
That's just a tidbit of information that I'm just throwing out there.
Thank you for that.
So
I now know.
I don't know where we come back from there, but so you're here. You made the plunge, right? And it seems to be going amazingly. I mean, like I said, and I don't think it's just because of how many times that I've been here, but it has that homey feel, right?
Yeah, it's been great. Allie doesn't want to be on camera.
Thank you. She's doing amazing. I'm okay. Thank you, though.
You got your staff, they bring you beers. I mean,
Right.
That's right.
Yeah.
They don't like it when I call them minions, but
Bazinga!
Come on, Guru. So you're here and it's going well.
so we're here. It's great. You get your hiccups. You're trying to. Owning a business is its own set of mental challenges you have to work through every day. There's taking it a day at a time, getting even a year and a half in, you're still going, why was this day busy and this day wasn't? Or,
Right.
Why does this week seem like it is? And you try to figure out patterns, but I had one person who owns a business nearby, and he said, you're going to drive yourself crazy trying to figure out what the public is thinking and why they're doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
Not that there's ever an explanation.
Right. There's no one clear equation. We wish there would be, right? But that's an interesting point that you bring up.
That person could make a lot of money if they knew why you were busy one day and not the other.
Yeah.
What did you do before you took the plunge into professional brewing and owning a business?
I worked at a small sign company in Orville.
Okay.
I was the vinyl guy, install guy.
So you're used to being a jack of all trades.
That's been kind of what I've liked to do my entire life. If I haven't learned how to do it, I will, because I'm too cheap to want to pay for somebody else to do it. There are things that I am not comfortable doing or don't have the tools to do.
Sure.
I can't do work on my car. I can work on my motorcycle. Car is a little different for me.
Yeah,
I can do some things. But building this place, and that's how I got into brewing, is I didn't know you could make beer. There was an article in the Beacon Journal about the Grape and Granary's location before they are now.
Yeah.
And I was talking to Eric, I said, oh shit, you can brew beer. I didn't know you could do that.
Right.
And I'm like, well, I'm going to make beer because I can. If I can learn how to do it, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to, continue to buy other beer because I certainly couldn't make enough at the time, but
You can make your own beer, right? Yeah.
If I can make my own, I'm going to make my own. If I can install hardwood flooring, I'm going to do that instead of paying somebody else to do it.
Right.
I love it. Yeah. That's awesome. So we've been referencing Erica a lot, right? We are sad that she's not been able to make it tonight.
The internet is missing that appearance.
Yes. So that just means we'll have to come back again and do another show.
We can do that.
With her on, right?
Oh, yes.
And
only her. We'll just keep me out of it.
Okay, whatever you guys want. But maybe talk about that. So your family owned, right? Does any other members of your family work here with you guys? And how does that all come into play?
Well, my mother-in-law comes and cleans on Wednesdays.
Okay.
So she gets her beer when she's done, kind of mopping and dusting the place out.
Not until it's clean.
Oh, no.
No beer until the place is clean, Bob.
I should say, and my mother-in-law is Thelma Lou.
Oh!
Yes.
Okay.
So, which is our best-selling beer here.
Wow. Thank you, Thelma Lou.
Yes, indeed. So she works here.
Okay.
And our son works here. He's 22. He's all behind the bar all summer long. He'll be here on breaks. He's not here now. He's back at Kent.
Okay.
Finishing up school. Got a semester and a half left.
Golden Flashes.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
That's where Eric and I met.
Oh,
at Kent State.
my wife and I as well.
Yep. My stepmom, her dad. Some weird Kent State thing going on with all of us. I don't know how that is.
We were just at Mad Camp 2 weeks ago. So,
Oh, yes?
Yeah.
Great stuff there.
Right.
And it's amazing how that downtown has changed.
Oh my goodness.
crazy.
Yeah, my dorm's gone. My frat house, or down the road from the frat, gone. All
Yeah.
And that whole Acorn Alley area that they built up. I mean, it's so nice down there.
Yep.
I have our son, when he was in band at Wadsworth, they would do their summer band camp at Kent. They would practice in the field behind the old architecture building.
It's not there anymore, is it? The field? Or is
I
it?
don't remember.
Yeah.
What was there? It's been at least 8 or 9 years that he did that.
Okay.
I just happened to wander downtown, so I walked everywhere in Kent, and I'm like,
Yep. Yep.
what the heck happened here?
I know.
This is not Kent. I'm like, where's Townhouse? Where's...
Right.
The Robin Hood, I think, was condemned.
Robin Hood!
It was condemned.
Yes! Robin Hood. Did you go there when they had quarter happy hour, and every half an hour it went up a quarter?
I don't remember. That was the early to mid-90s.
So then, yes, you did.
Probably.
Because you don't remember.
Yes. And it was the Shark Club when I was there. JB's
okay.
down. We hung out there a lot. Never went to the Venice because I didn't have a fake ID. So.
I had friends that worked security at Robin Hood. So,
Gotcha.
Yeah. I would go there
so
sometimes.
it was amazing to go to Kent.
Yes.
What happened to this town?
Right.
I feel bad for all the under 21 college kids because there's no place to go.
They're trying to work on some of that, but
That's good.
like they have like open areas where you can play.
Yeah.
They have like AstroTurf and like an open floor.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, where you can play like cornhole and stuff. I saw like I don't know, but it's like close to bars and stuff, so it's like
It's not too bad.
But, yeah.
Not the same.
Yeah.
Not like it was. I can say it back in the day.
right, absolutely, right. So where were we? Family, right?
Go ahead and guess some names.
And let me tell you this too.
I'll say my in-laws have come in, my brother-in-law, sister-in-law, on busy nights. I mean, they will hop behind the bar and start washing glasses because that's usually where we're backed up.
When I saw Big Jewel Green here, I took my wife here I've been here many times, but I took my wife here for the first time, and it was packed, right?
Yeah.
It was super crowded, and I walked up to the bar, and we're looking for a spot, and I don't know who this guy. He had a backwards hat on, maybe tattoos, and he's like, "What's up?" And hey, buddy, what's up? What's up, man? Just like a normal guy, just like coming to greet me.
Big beard?
Yeah.
AJ.
Yeah, I think and just like so like hospitable and so friendly. It took me a minute to realize, oh, you work here, and you're bringing this, like, and he worked with us to try and, like, find us a seat. He's like, oh, well, I'll wait till somebody gets up, and then I'll call you guys over. I was like, oh, you work here. I was like, that was the best experience I've ever had.
Thank you.
Maybe at a brew club ever, because it was so crowded. And he just came in, like, gave me a high five. It's like, I got you, man. I was like, that is amazing.
Oh, yeah. Former customer. I mean, still a customer.
Yeah.
Now he's, one of those, I really like it here. You got a full-time job somewhere else, but hey, a couple nights a week, once a week,
I think he did mention something about that. He said, I'm here so much, I might as well get paid, or something like that. Yeah.
He was pretty much paying the electric bill for as often as he was here.
So your son,
And that's
wife,
wife,
in-laws.
in-laws, and that's the family.
Yeah. It's awesome.
My parents live a little further away, so they don't get here too much, but
Sure.
I think my dad was here on anniversary day washing glasses too. First anniversary, that was that day. It's one of those, like, we were wall-to-wall people. We opened up at noon. There were people waiting, so we were giving away glasses for every beer you had, no minimum or anything. Logoed glasses. People walk out with 6 of them in their arm.
That's what I found from my page is people really like free stuff.
Oh, they do.
Who would have thought?
Right?
Oh, they do. They
I
like
look at
the
my
food.
stats of the Hop and the Bean, and I'm like, when I did our last giveaway, and it's just like astronomically larger than all others. I'm just like,
You tell people that
This
there's
host
going
is
to be a
performing
free
well.
glass.
exactly.
You tell people there's going to be a free glass for every beer that they will show up.
Oh my goodness, they did, and it was less than an hour after we opened. All the seats were full, and from 1 o'clock, 1:30 until 10 o'clock, it was wall. I mean, it was jammed. It was standing room. It was so flipping hot in here too. In January,
That's amazing. That's
it was
great.
it was really good. It was
Come cozy. Did you have the fireplace going? Did you run this thing?
no, this is not one.
Okay.
This is
Is it a gas one or just a fake one?
just a fake little heart there. There's nothing. I've been meaning to stick a TV in here with the retro pie, and I wanted to have kind of a fireplace screensaver.
That'd be awesome.
It's still a work in progress.
Hey.
Oh yes, with my free time, I'll do that.
I will, if I ever run across any, give me the dimensions on those, on that thing.
I saw one somewhere. It's on a.
I'll
It's
try
on
to find a TV for you.
It's on an internet page somewhere. It's like
Okay.
23-inch something
Okay.
or other.
I love
I'll
that.
take care of it.
Yeah. So one thing that I find super interesting about Wadsworth Brewing Company is the space that we're in, right? Mm-hmm. The woodwork and my buddy from Richmond, he mentioned that there's wood from the gym that he played basketball in middle school. So he was like, my blood, sweat, and tears are literally in the
On
wood
that floor.
of this place, right?
Oh, yeah.
Is that correct?
It is correct. Flight boxes, and the front of the bar, tabletops, bar top, all came from Isham Elementary, which is 3 blocks down the hill, 4 blocks down the road here. The city at the time was redoing the high school and I think 3 elementary schools, all over the course of one school year / summer. So they auctioned off the contents, and my wife likes to say we won the gym floor.
You won the right to pay for it.
We paid for it, and our backs told us, yes, you ripped it all up yourselves. Me, Erica, and Liam ripped it up. There were actually 2 layers of maple flooring in there. So the stuff that's got the markings that are on the flight boxes in the front of the bar was on top of what is the high top tables and the bar top. And we have it laid down in our house also, our family room, our office.
That's
have
right.
It.
I think so cool.
Yeah.
We bought, old schools used to have the elevated stage, so we bought that too, and that's in our kitchen, and that's kind of got the coffee sacks around it over there. So we had it all. It was all bought, not knowing this was going to be a thing.
Right.
But when you got a garage full of gym floors, I'm going to use this everywhere I can. We got to use this stuff.
We got to maximize this.
Oh,
Yeah. I
So
love
we
it.
use it everywhere.
I love it. That's awesome.
It turned out really well.
So cool. And that's a great hop in the bean tie-in with the coffee sacks, right?
Coffee sacks came from Pearl Coffee Company.
Ah.
They were saving a few for us.
Nice.
Take care. And they held a few good ones for us, and they said, all right, well, put those on in there.
Awesome.
Everybody likes their coffee beers.
Right? And everybody loves their coffee and beer.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, it makes for a beautiful partnership. Thus, here is the hop of the bean. So we mentioned earlier some of the seasonals, right?
Seasonal time of year.
Yeah. What kind of seasonals do you guys have rolling out? You have one of your Wadsworth or what?
Correct. Yeah, that's our Oktoberfest right now. First batch is on. Next batch will come when the Main Street does their Oktoberfest.
Okay. When is that?
It'll be whatever the first Friday in October is.
Okay.
I don't know if that's the 9th or whatever.
Fifth or, yeah.
No, wait, it wouldn't be the 9th, because that's more than a whole week.
Well, I think downtown Akron is having their Block 3 Oktoberfest, where we're going to be at the 5th.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll have ours here, so the next batch of that Oktoberfest will come on. I think I'm going to do, I did a pumpkin Thelma Lou, pumpkin spice blonde ale.
Yeah.
And that everybody was doing the pumpkin latte thing, and I'm like, I don't know what that is. I don't drink that.
Sure.
Just drink regular coffee in the morning. Powdered creamer. I mean, I'm an old man.
Pearl Coffee.
Oh yeah. Diana's Blend. Every
I've
morning.
been wanting to check them out actually and go get them on the show.
I used to work at the Beacon Journal, and I'd run on my lunch hour, and if the wind was coming from a certain direction, you could smell basically burnt coffee as they're roasting it. And I'm like, what is that? And I figured it out that I ran by one day. I'm like, oh, it's a coffee shop, coffee store here.
Yeah.
And I mean, outside of a couple places, I mean, as far as their breakfast blend, their Diana's Blend, that's kind of their restaurant. And that's the only place you can really get it.
Yeah.
So we've been drinking that 12 years at least.
There's a rich history behind it, right?
Oh yeah. That place is great, and that was. I mean, and it's still some of the least expensive coffee you can buy in the area.
Really?
At the time when we were buying it, you go to the grocery store and it's like, oh, what whole bean is this? And it's like, I work next door in Akron. I'm just gonna pick up 5 pounds, 10 pounds of it, and take it home because it's cheaper to do it that way than whatever was already sitting on their grocery store shelf.
So flavorful. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
So the first 2 beers that I ever had from Wadsworth Brewing Company were the River Sticks, which I mentioned earlier, and then you did a Buckets Coffee Porter with peanut butter beans or something like that.
We did a few blends with their different flavors.
Yeah, you wouldn't have been able to tell me that there wasn't actual peanut butter in that beer.
May contain nuts.
Yeah, right. But it was so flavorful.
Yep.
And then most of that flavor came from the coffee beans themselves, from roastery.
Right up there.
I love that, learning that. That's the style of where you brew different beers, different ways, different ingredients, and it's like tasting the notes out of the coffee are the same with when you try a beer. It's like I never knew that existed. I mean, even 2 years ago. So I'm still learning a lot about that, but I love it. I mean, some of the Ethiopian blends and the lighter and just stuff like that. It's so fun learning about. Speaking of the seasonals, you brought one out for us, a special one, right?
Oh yeah, straight out of the cooler.
Straight out. Did you say this was the last one?
Yeah. Well,
one of the last ones?
The last can that I have until I brew it again.
What is it?
It is the Yo Jingle This, the Citra Cinnamon IPA.
Citra Cinnamon IPA. All right.
We had it for Christmas in July, so
I'm excited. I am
So
excited.
you asked for a Thanksgiving IPA, you're getting a Christmas IPA, so the next closest thing.
Yes, absolutely. As we dig into this, and maybe give us a little bit of, it's a great segue to our next question about your test batch Sundays and how you had the freedom to kind of experiment with beers, right?
yeah, at a 2-barrel system, I've had people say, oh, are you going to do a pilot batch of this? You're going to do a small batch of that? I don't have time to do a small batch, so I can pretty much take a risk and say, all right, I'm going to just brew a batch of this. If I need to tweak it, I can take care of that on the next one if something didn't quite turn out as well as I thought it was going to. So the test batch was Erica telling me, you need to do something like Ron does with his lab rats. Okay, I'll figure something out.
I was just thinking about that, yeah.
That is where that came from.
Nice.
So it's pretty much just a lot of infusions is what it is. Lets me experiment with some of the different things that I have to flavor beers with and different batches that I have. I'll just, as I'm kegging something, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to put this into there and see how that turns out and see what the public says on Sunday.
Right. So yeah, the craft beer drinker at their core, I think, is they're more of an experimental type drinker, right? So they're always wanting to try something different.
Well, yeah.
I know you referenced Arshay and his, what you call them, lab rats?
Yeah.
And he's open Wednesday through Sunday, and Wednesday is probably a slower day for most breweries.
Yeah.
But I know they're usually packed whenever he has one of those come out.
Yeah.
Do you find that having your own version, your own version of that, your test batch Sundays, does that give you an uptick in business? You have more people come in, you're more experimental drinkers that always want to try something new?
It feels like some people have, it feels like it has caught on as a Sunday thing here.
Sure.
All right, what's new this
what's Ernie
Sunday?
up to this week? Let's
what's
go
this
check him out.
week?
Right.
And of course some things will go over better than others. But I mean, for the for the most part, it's been a very well received thing.
Yeah. Cool. And how many of these? Not trying to hijack the
No,
show or anything.
it's good.
Here,
It's a great question.
How many of these test batches that you brewed have gone on to evolve into something that you would keep on regular rotation?
The Nutty Lou, our peanut butter blonde ale, was probably one of the
I've had it.
Wasn't one of the very early ones that became a regular one.
Yeah, okay.
Let's see, we had it at the Akron Ale Fest, the Black Cherry Blonde Ale, the Foreman's Sister was there. Did you have that when you were there?
Which one?
Foreman's Sister at the Akron Ale Fest?
Yes.
Yeah. So that was another one that came out of there. I don't think of what else I had done. The Vanilla Porter might have been one that came out of that also, which was our regular porter, and as soon as vanilla was in it, nobody wanted regular porter anymore. So the National Hotel is now pretty much always going to be the Vanilla Porter.
Right.
Sure.
Are you going to do this one again this Christmas?
Oh, yeah.
I might have a new Christmas beer.
I'm telling you what. I'm telling you what.
I was waiting because I was looking at you and you were talking, but I'm telling you,
you can always tell when I'm impressed with a drink when
this.
Like I stop and I look at it and I go,
yeah, that's what
that made me do that. I was like, wow, that's really interesting because those are not flavors that you expect in an IPA.
Yeah,
but they don't like. It's not like they overwhelm the hops or anything, or vice versa. The hops overwhelm the spices. It just blends really well and works really well together.
Yeah. It's got a good
surprising,
medium mouthfeel.
It's got enough caramel malt in it that it still's got a decent amount of body to it.
Yeah.
It was.
I love it.
I brewed that last year. I think I brewed it. Ended up doing a couple batches of it over the holiday season, and that was one of those ones. People were like, "Yeah, give me a sip of that. That sounds." I don't know, and it's like, wow, that was not what I expected in a way better way.
In a better way.
I didn't think that this was going to go together, and it was one of those things in my head. I'm thinking, all right, I like Citra hop. I could throw that crap in anything.
Yeah.
But what can I want to do a Christmas IPA? You know what? The citrus and cinnamon to me just seemed like it went together.
Yeah, it definitely does. I love brewers that take a chance and try to do something outside of the box. And mixing Christmas-type flavors in an IPA is kind of doing something outside of the box.
I love it.
And it can work, or it can backfire horribly.
Ooh, I just got a lot of cinnamon on that. I didn't get a lot of cinnamon until just now on that sip. Like a lot.
So I just tried a beer about a week and a half ago from Decadent, which is out of New York. And they did a French toast IPA.
Yeah.
And it was kind of along those same lines. Like, this is either really going to work or it's not. And French toast, all those kind of flavors, the maple and the syrup and the cinnamon and everything, that works really great in a stout, but is that going to work in an IPA?
Right.
For me, that kind of missed. This doesn't miss.
No, it was...
This doesn't miss.
Yeah,
this is like everything works together really well.
I think
it's not off-putting or anything.
Even Hank would like this IPA. Hank is not an IPA guy, but I think he would even like this.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't beat you over the head with bitterness.
I won't shake the can because it's
cool story,
At
bro.
the bottom, but there's some in there for him if you want. He doesn't want to drink after you. I don't know how comfortable you guys are.
We are approaching what we call the last call of our show.
Oh wait,
it's 5 random questions.
Get your script ready.
It's in there. It's in there. Some kind of related to beer, sometimes related to absolutely nothing. But I try to tie it into what the brewery or coffee shop is about. But before we get into that, is there anything else that you want anyone else listening or watching to know about Wadsworth Brewing Company? Besides the fact that they make an amazing Christmas IPA and an amazing all-year-round River Styx top of the, I can't say enough about it. It's really good. River Styx IPA.
Bazinga.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell people other than if you're wondering if it's worth the trip, I hope these guys will let you know that it definitely is.
Yep.
Yeah, I know people from Stowe and Cuyahoga Falls think this is the other side of the world.
Right.
Especially if you get stuck in an hour and a half on 76.
Right.
With the way things are. But hopefully once that shakes out, we'll be fine. It's, we're just a cozy downtown place. Feel free to come and hang out.
It's very cozy.
So cozy. I love
it.
Yeah. And I love the. I don't want to get too much into it, but like the window stuff that you guys do.
Yes.
That ties into downtown Wadsworth stuff, right?
Yeah. We try to have it ready to go for the first Friday events, kind of theme it all out, and usually works out really well.
I love it.
It's turned out great.
Yeah. One of my favorite.
Not so fun to clean off, but.
I have wondered about that. So, getting into the last call. So, last call, if you're not familiar with our show, is 5 random questions that ask anything and everything for the brewer or roaster or coffee shop owner or brew pub owner on our show. So let's just jump into it before I babble on anymore. Question number 1. Do you actually, this might open up a whole nother box, but do you believe in the character on your shirt that has a backstory as well?
I do.
Yes.
I absolutely do. There's a lot that I believe in. And I used to work second shift in Cleveland, and I would drive home at midnight when Art Bell had Coast to Coast AM. I was listening to that, and I'm like, there's some nuts out there, but there's some real stuff going on.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree. I used to listen to Art Bell as well. God rest his soul.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Go ahead and bless him there.
So I absolutely believe, and I've had customers come in, some of them are like, River Styx Monster, I've lived here my whole life, and then I've had some that never heard of it, and then there's some, oh yeah, I remember my uncle said he saw it or had his neighbor, out there, and this is just a couple miles away.
Yeah. Wow.
This area actually is really big for
The truth
Bigfoot
is out
sightings.
there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's eerie.
That's the one.
Erica won't even watch that show. We got about 6 episodes into the original series, and she said, yeah, there's so much of this show that I think is real, I'm not going to watch it anymore. Oh, yeah.
Cool story,
I do
bro.
want to watch it.
Yeah. You gotta watch it. No, you gotta. Yeah. I love it. Question number 2. What is the most
I guess we did kind of touch on it.
Yeah, the most difficult. I was going to ask you if those shirts are still available, but I don't think you can legally on air say yes or no.
They are not.
Okay, they are not. Okay.
We sold out over a year ago when we said, hey, you can't make any more of those.
Right.
Like, okay.
Yeah. I bring back. Yeah. Anyways, so what's the most difficult beer you've ever made or attempted to?
I'm still attempting to make a good hazy IPA. I've been told by Erica numerous times, you need to make a hazy IPA. I'm still working on it. And it's funny, you'll read enough things and talk to enough people. They are not easy beers to make.
Right.
And have them taste good.
Yeah. And look good.
Yeah.
Right.
So, still a work in progress.
That's a tough style.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tough style. Everybody says it's easy, and it's a style that's inherently flawed because it wasn't really supposed to. Beer's not, aside from maybe a Hefeweizen, beer's not supposed to be cloudy.
Right.
So it's very divisive to begin with.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Shrouded in
it's not
controversy.
But it's
the
not
hazy
easy.
IPA.
don't let anybody tell you for a second it's an easy style to brew.
No.
I'm a home brewer myself, and I can tell you, I've made 4 or 5 hazy IPAs, and yeast plays a role, certainly, but and the amount of proteins and everything that you use in it plays a role. I've had some that ended up clear, like some of yours. I've had some that end up looking muddy and brown, and you're going for that real orange juice looking color.
Sure.
So color is very hard to achieve.
Yeah.
It's not an easy style to brew.
You get that swamp water look,
Yes,
right?
Yeah, it can look like swamp water, or it can look like orange juice. It's not a. Part of drinking a beer is you want it to be appealing looking to the eye too, right? You don't want to drink something that looks
I
like
just poured in a red cup for you. Here you go. Don't pay no attention.
And while we're talking about it, that is a
Great.
beautiful looking beer.
Look at it.
What beer is that?
Oh, this one, it's the Blind Golf Pale Ale,
Okay.
which probably chill haze, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, question number 3, going back to your better half that is not here. Do you guys have different stylistic sides of the beer spectrum?
We don't.
No? That probably makes it easy.
And once Erica realized there was a lot more beer to drink out there than whatever 6-pack I happened to be bringing home at the time, she really started liking beer a lot. But I mean, we'll go to breweries and it's like, okay, what IPA are you getting? Because I want to get this one. All right, I was going to get that one. All right, I'll get this one instead. I mean, we are just IPA drinkers, always, everywhere.
As they call hotheads.
I don't want to use that term, but I kept myself from saying it. It's kind of like a parrot head. It's like, all right, you like Jimmy Buffett, I get it.
Right? Yeah. I don't know. No, it's interesting because my wife and I are similar. She started drinking Oberon. She loved Oberon. And then as she saw that I was drinking a lot of these IPAs, she's like, okay, let me take a sip of that one. Okay, let me take a sip of that one. And now she loves IPAs. I mean, we're on the same playing field.
Hitting the beer fest was great for Erica to try beers. Those were awesome.
Yeah. What about you guys, Rob?
Well, my wife's gluten-free, so she drinks wine.
That's okay.
So I don't have the problem. All 6 taps are devoted to me. So
but you did
I
have
can brew whatever style
cider,
I want. I don't even worry about appeasing her and making a style that she wants. So.
Okay. This is one of my favorite questions I've ever asked here. And I want you guys both to answer. What was your grandpa's favorite beer? Or what kind of beer did he drink? And I'm getting really upset with this time, though. My grandpa's, I can't think of the name, but it's going to come to me.
Man, you were going so far back that I was a kid that I really do not remember at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it was something American and light.
I mean, there was like Schlitz, Black Label. There's one that I have a bottle of it because I bought one of my grandpa's. Lowenbrough. I bought my grandparents' old house and I found one of the bottles. I still have it. Stroh's! It might be Stroh's. It might be. I don't know. Maybe. Do you have one?
I never knew either of my grandfathers. They both passed before I was born.
Okay.
But, I mean, yeah, any of the things that Ernie mentioned.
I know my one's still alive and living in Florida. I don't know if he drinks beer. He might drink wine.
Yeah.
I could ask my dad.
If he Schlitz, yeah. If any of my grandfathers were still alive, yeah, they'd probably still be. It's just a generational thing. I'm sure they'd still be drinking that.
Oh yeah.
All those beers that we just named.
The bottle that I have is like a medicine bottle.
Okay.
Like style, I'm going to find it, take a picture and post it. Because I saved it, and it made the move by now when I moved to our new house. Okay.
This one took some work.
Yes. Big question. Okay.
All right.
And
I love those questions.
To start off with,
I'm glad I had a whole night and a morning to think about it.
well, I remember meeting you. You have a R2D2 tattoo, right?
I do.
So and then I started seeing like the Star Wars stuff. So you're a big Star Wars fan, right?
Pretty big.
Okay.
I'm still behind on a couple movies just because I haven't figured out how to watch movies and brew and pick beer and enjoy them how I want to.
Okay.
So
that's a true fan.
I have not seen
To Devote with True.
Solo's the only one I haven't seen.
I haven't seen that one yet either.
What's the one before that? No good?
Return.
No. The Last Jedi.
The Last Jedi?
I haven't seen that either.
Yes,
Really?
It took me until last Thanksgiving to see The Force Awakens, which was
Wow. And you call yourself a fan?
And the only reason I saw Rogue One is because Eric was traveling for her other job, and I had an evening. I'm like, all right, I got a couple hours here. Let's just throw it on. Holy
Nikes!
was that good?
Yes.
I was texting my bearded bartender because he said, "Oh, it's really good. I'm not gonna." He said probably one of his favorites next to Empire
Bazinga.
Strikes Back. And he said, if I wasn't such an Empire fan, he would put it above there. I've also had people tell me that they didn't like it at all. And I'm watching it and I'm texting him going, yeah, the first half was kind of I get all the character development, but the last half, holy cow. That was amazing. I was almost crying when Can you do spoilers this late in the...
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I
got a little emotional when a robot dies. They don't die.
Right? I need to talk to you after you watch Last Jedi.
All right.
What do you have? Blu-ray? You have Blu-ray player, DVD?
I think I have Netflix, which I believe is still on there.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So
this actually had...
I'm going to give you...
I have notes Scroll down the side.
Ready. He's prepared for this question.
I have at least a couple answers, but not all answers.
Okay.
But I think the first one's pretty easy because there's beers named after these guys. But
and I didn't go for beers necessarily named after them. I'm thinking
what they would
this
drink.
is who this person is. This is
Yes.
what they would be drinking.
Yep.
He's really thought about this.
No, we're on the same playing field. So I'm going to name some Star Wars characters. You're going to tell me what you think they would drink.
All right.
Darth Vader.
I believe he switches between Boris and Doris from Hop and Frog when they're on.
Ooh.
Good answer.
Yeah. You ever had the Van Wink?
The Nats.
So that's like the whiskey barrel version of it. He would probably dabble in that maybe a little bit. Maybe
think he would.
Maybe he would save that for the Emperor, but I don't know. Yoda.
Got something for you. No. Yoda. So
Yoda.
I think he's a Wild Ohio tea beer drinker.
That's a good answer. That's a good answer. Interesting. Okay. And Rob, if you are in any way, shape, or form Star Wars knowledgeable, you can chime in.
No.
You had the notes, right?
I'll leave this all to him.
All right.
And let me just say this: every time I drink this beer, I get the big smell of it, and that's what
Drink the rest of the can if you want this one. Save it for Hank.
Well, I want I want
Not Henry.
Not Henry,
Right.
but it is after Henry.
All right.
Okay. Darth Vader, Yoda with the wild tea, and here's a good one, Kylo Ren.
I believe he drinks whatever is currently trendy that somebody else tells him to drink. So first it was sours, now it's hazy.
Now he's doing an IPA.
We'll see what he's going to do next. I believe he's starting to dabble into the brute IPAs.
So Kylo Ren's a little bit hipster is what you're trying to say.
He only does what he's told to do.
Absolutely.
Hey, you should drink this. Okay.
Horrible turn of events. Horrible.
Chewbacca.
I believe he's a backwoods bastard guy.
Oh.
He wants to enjoy it. It's
Yeah.
something you're gonna sit down and enjoy. He's not pounding.
Something that puts hair on your chest.
A little bit. There we go.
Yeah. This one is probably going to throw the audience for a loop, and the Star Wars lovers will hate me for this question, but Jar Jar Binks.
I believe it's whatever Shandy or Radler is nearby.
Yeah.
I'd have to agree with
I'd agree with that.
that.
So far, you're on point.
This guy knows the Star Wars.
So, okay.
I thought I knew my beers.
That too.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Bass Ale all the way.
Bass Ale, but from
Guinness.
England.
England. Bass, just Bass. I was thinking of Bass Two-Hearted Ale. No.
That was my when I worked at Mr. Bilbo's in downtown Akron in the mid '90s.
Yes.
That was my shift beer. It's like Guinness, Bass, Hart. When they had it's like all right. That was kind of my
Yeah, that's one of my entries as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was my first kit batch of beer I did. I'm like, what do you got that's like Bass, like grape and grain? Like, all right, here you go. All right.
Isn't there like the age-old argument of the proper black and tan is either
Bass.
Harper.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, and as I was looking things up, I'm like, oh wait, Harp's Irish, so it's definitely Bass.
Man, I thought about Obi-Wan Kenobi as I don't know, like a very I don't know. I couldn't peg him on a certain beer, but a very scientific, new cutting edge beer. Not like a brew style, but like a more I don't know, because he's so wisdom. And he's so
See, that's why I think he's going for the classic.
Yeah, that's true.
The classic English ale. That's what he's.
And Darth Vader to me is Imperial Stout all the way.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. Red.
All right, that's
tough.
I had a direction I was going, and I did have to reach out to our bearded bartender friend.
Okay.
I was going. I'm like, all right, it's going to be light, So him and I kind of agreed. Jenny Cream Ale.
Okay. Yeah.
Apparently, she, growing up, without much money. I mean, you can buy a 30-pack for $15. So,
Absolutely. These are fantastic answers. Okay, I have an answer for this one, but I want to see where yours is at. And if it's the same as mine, I don't know.
Then we're done, right?
Yeah.
We'll skip the last two. No. Skip the Ewoks.
Boba Fett.
All right. He is drinking whatever he can trade on a rare beer trade group. That's what he's seeking out. Whatever he can trade that is rare.
Yeah. That is.
I don't think he drinks anything specific, but if he hasn't had it before, he's going to seek it out.
That is such a good answer.
He's a bounty hunter. He is seeking.
Wow. I was just going to call, he seems to me like an IPA guy, right? Similar reasons of like, okay, there's a lot out there, and he's after to get like the most dastardly guy. So he's like,
Boba Fett is trading for whales, bro.
That's right. He's standing there on Dark Lord Day.
I picked him for an IPA guy, but that makes way more sense. Okay, so any Ewok at all?
Honey Brown.
What was that?
Honey Brown.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
I mean, why? Tell me why.
Why?
Yeah. I know you have a reason.
It's more of a.
That was one of the first beers I ever had, because my mom drank it.
And I didn't realize that Cleveland, Northeast Ohio, is one of the biggest markets for Honey Brown. Is it Rolling Rock? Do they have?
It's a Genesee beer, I think.
Is it?
Yeah.
I can't remember, but I thought they were coming here to have a convention or have like a company meeting because
I read that
Honey Brown is so big in this region.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of the biggest regions of Honey Brown buyers.
Yeah.
But
Did you learn something?
To me, that's an Ewok beer.
The more you know.
You can drink it all year round in the woods. It's got some flavor, around some sort of funeral pyre or whatever it is.
Like a smoky lager, maybe? I don't know.
That works.
Yeah. They're one of my childhood favorites from like old Star Wars movies. What are the little guys with the hoods? Like those guys? What are those guys called?
The Jawas?
The Jawas? Yeah.
That is, if there is a Star Wars character or say race that is me, that is it. If I had one of those sand crawlers, I'd be loaded with my crap. I mean, don't ask Erica, but hey, everything's useful eventually.
Well, we are learning more than we ever thought we would on this interview, and I love it. I mean,
I'm sorry.
So, no, don't be sorry.
All right.
So, last guy, and maybe, I don't know, most prolific.
All right.
Han Solo.
All right. He drank Yingling back when you had to go to PA to smuggle it into Ohio.
Okay.
So he still drinks it. He just can't get away from it. He's like, hey, I used to have to go across the border to get this.
We should write a book about this.
All right.
Yeah.
That would be almost as good of a seller as Rick Armand's 50 Ohio beers you gotta try, right? Beers that Star Wars characters would try. I think that would sell.
I think it'd do all right.
I think it would do all right.
There are plenty of fans.
Yeah.
I mean, and I had to boil that down to 10.
I was going to say, what did you think Han Solo drank?
Man, I thought like Han Solo would be like kind of like a rare, like an imperial, like red IPA, maybe. And I was maybe like a Nosferatu type style beer.
Not beer.
Scotch, Hank says. I don't know.
I was one of those. I was going to be like, yeah, he doesn't drink beer. That person doesn't drink beer.
Right, yeah. Well, the Emperor, I don't think would drink beer. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. Han Solo, I thought about that one. I was like, man, it'd have to be something like strong.
Take care, Zach.
And then he just like sipped on. And it's just like, and I thought about Jabba the Hutt too. And Jabba Hutt to me is like anything and everything.
Anything you put in front of him.
He's a quantity drinker.
Yeah. Natty Light.
Definitely makes him a Bud Light, natural. Yeah.
He's sitting up at the bar at the frat house in Kent with me.
Yes.
And the Beast. Yeah.
My dad drank the Beast. He said that was Miller High Life He said that was the unadvertised Miller High Life.
Yeah.
He said Milwaukee's best. That's Miller High Life. They just don't put any advertising dollars into it. Like now, I'm thinking, I don't think so.
I would always say, like, those bigger beer companies, they are advertisement companies that happen to sell beer. So this has been a phenomenal episode. I don't know. I'm glad that you weren't as big as a Star Wars fan as I thought you were. Excited. I remember the tattoo, but then I was like, oh, yeah, you always have like common, like.
I tried to. My brother and sister-in-law got me the big stormtrooper up there.
I love that.
It's so cool. Yeah. There's a bar around here, I think in Cleveland, that they do.
Cleveland Brewing Company.
They do the thing.
They do the cantina.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever gone?
Oh God, I really wanted to because I know last May, Star Wars Day and practically month. I mean, they do it up there. I really want to go.
I propose that you need to hook up with John from Cleveland Brewery, and you guys need to do some kind of collaboration.
That would be good.
Because you guys are probably the two biggest Star Wars.
We do a show.
Northeast Ohio
Craft Brewery
Brewery,
and Hop in the Bean, and we do a show.
Yeah. Set it up. Hey, John.
Let's do it. Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight on a huge show that I've been wanting to do for a while. I love it. Absolutely.
Finally made it happen.
Yes. And hopefully we can come back soon to chat with Erica to get the real story.
Oh, yes.
Behind the scenes story. And if you've never been to Wadsworth.
Way more viewers when she's on.
If you've never been to Wadsworth, Ohio, come down. Absolutely 100% worth the trip. Hop the Bean, we've been on a journey. We'll be at High Ho Brewery next week in Cuyahoga Falls on Front Street. Can't wait to talk to Allie and John. We're also going to be talking with Compass Coffee pretty soon in the near future for our next latte art throwdown. You guys ever do some latte art?
Apparently not.
Well, it's similar to like Guinness art, but thank you guys.
Powdered creamer.
Yes.
That's me.
Thank you guys. Thank you for the Wadsworth Brewing Company for being with us. Thank you to Northeast Ohio Craft Brewery for being with us. Rob, Ernie, it's been a pleasure. Until next time, guys, make sure to tune in. I'm Buzz Andrews, and I'm all hopped up.